Hey guys, welcome into the Toyota Winners Lounge on this DNVR Rockies podcast. I'm your host, Suzie Hunter, and I've got certified Rockies boy Kale Sorbo with me. Guys, these air horns are very warranted today because that was one of the coolest Rockies wins I've gotten to see recently. That was really fun for all of us. It was huge for the guys too. We're going to analyze this whole roller coaster of a win because it got a little ugly. But really, the point is, these guys, they came together, they leaned on each other, they got through that really rough start on the road, and we got a really fun win to show for it. I'm super excited. By the way, this show is brought to you by Factor Meals. We all ate Factor meal kits at my house last night because I didn't feel like cooking, because why would I feel like cooking? You don't have to cook at all. They take like 2 minutes to make. Factor meal kits. Use code DNVR Rocks 50. Anyway, Kale, how are you feeling? You are so jazzed right now because this was such a fun win to be in this clubhouse for, especially. It was,
the energy was palpable. It was really, really kind of like just a special day at Coors. I have been in the building for some really special moments over the course of my life, and the excitement that you could tell those guys felt, especially for Rymac in that moment, was just so cool. It was so cool. Yeah. That was like a special, especially for that to happen like at the home opener in front of 50,000 fans, like so special. So special. That was such a special moment. Also, sidebar, as you know, we cover this team a lot. I'm in that clubhouse every single home game and then some. But it was so crazy seeing Ryan McMahon being interviewed by like 30 reporters in that clubhouse after this game, because like so many of them, of course, like we'll never see them again after today. But seeing that many reporters just show up for Rymac in this big moment, I'm so excited for him. I'm excited for this team. I'm excited for these dudes. But let me remind y'all, hop in the Toyota chat because I would love to know what you guys thought. Obviously, you guys were all watching this game. Snow Wolf, unbelievable Grand Slam walk-off. I couldn't believe it. My jaw was on the floor because things got a little ugly before that walk-off Grand Slam. The fact that we were even playing in the bottom of the ninth inning was not everyone's first choice, but it made for a great story after the fact. Trenton in the chat, no quit in these boys. That is so true. And Buddy even talked about this in pregame, because obviously coming off even for, the Rockies have struggled recently, and even for those struggling seasons, this was an exceptionally rough start. Starting the season 1-6 is not how you want to do it at all. And the vibes can get bad real fast, especially if that's how you're starting the season. But Buddy said that these guys just leaned on each other in those times. And we talked to the guys about this too. We talked to Chuck about it. We talked to Nolan about it. We'll play those later on in the show because we really got to talk about what happened in this game. And also, by the way, if we have 1,000 live viewers at any point, I know we were at the Coors opener. I'm going to be a Coors opener. I will shotgun this Coors Light. This ice cold Coors Light. And look at the mountains. They're so blue. I'll shotgun if we have 1,000 live viewers. That is my guarantee to you. Trent adding, oh my gosh, we didn't even tweet out tacos, by the way, just because so much was going on. But yes, Rymac got us tacos. He just wanted tacos.
Didn't even get to thank him.
Thank you for the tacos. I am much easier to please than Suzie. If 100 people get in here, I will shotgun a beer on this live show. I promise.
I'm just like, it has to be a lot of people. Otherwise, like, I don't even know if I am able to shotgun. I've not tried to shotgun anything in a long time. Again, I'm no Kyle Freeland in an Avs game. Okay, I'm not shotgunning all the time. Oh my gosh, we got Mitch popping his head in, by the way. Did you watch the game? I saw the Grand Slam. You didn't watch the game? I was driving to work. Oh, okay. He was driving, so he wasn't watching. That's okay. Pop your head in. It's fine.
Go Rocks in the chat, though?
Can we get a go Rocks in the Toyota chat?
Thank you, Toyota chat.
Thank you to the Toyota chat.
Go Rocks in the Toyota chat.
Hey, Justin in the chat. Thanks for saying hi. D-Line in the chat. Love that. Jeremy is here to see Kale shotgun a beer, please.
I'm a man of my word. If 100 people get in here, I will do it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the analytics dude in Montfort's basement. I believe again. I'm so happy. I hope he lets you out of the basement. All right. You know what? We're going to start. Here's the rundown of the show. We're going to start talking about pitching. We're going to talk about offense. We're going to talk about defense. That's how we're going to lay it out. Let's start with pitching, though, because Austin Gomber. We were wondering which version of Austin Gomber we were going to get, because obviously sometimes we just get two different dudes. Okay. But I think we got a little bit of both. We got mostly good Austin Gomber. The pitch count got so crazy high in that first inning. Hold on, I wrote this down. The pitch count, 62 pitches through 2 innings. That is absolutely insane. And then he reeled it in so fast, because 3rd inning we were up to 73, 4th inning 89. So like he was cutting it down. And we know how important pitch efficiency is. But yeah, we asked Buddy about this after the game. Here's what he had to say about what he saw from Austin Gomber in this beautiful home opening. Talking about Austin Gomber, those first 2 innings, that pitch count got so high, but he really reeled it in for the 3rd and the 4th. What were you seeing from that?
Well, again, I thought his stuff was his normal stuff. Fastball, 89 to 91. Looked like some, again, I got to look at the video, but talking to, he was just missing some inside fastballs to the righties, missing on the slider a little bit. The first couple innings, 16, 17 foul balls, right? He just couldn't put a number of the guys away. He ended up with, I think, 7 strikeouts in 4 innings, which is, you would think that, that's power pitcher stuff, but, he hung in there and he battled. He didn't wilt. That was, as crazy as it sounds, those were like 4 pretty good innings.
Yeah, they were 4 pretty good innings. 4 hits, 2 runs. Both of those were earned. He walked 3 guys, 7 strikeouts. I like 7 strikeouts a lot. He didn't give up any home runs, by the way. Also, I feel like the temperature really contributed as it heated up at Coors Field. The balls definitely started traveling a little further. I saw on social media, by the way, Fairchild, the reliever who was given the loss for this game, Peter Fairbanks. He apparently, after the game, they were, reporters were talking to him in the visitors clubhouse. He apparently is not happy with the consistency of the baseballs that were coming out in the bottom of the 9th. I think he just is not familiar with Coors Field. He's trying to blame the humidor on a really bad appearance. You can't blame the humidor.
Not at Coors.
Not at Coors. Not at Coors. That's just not how it works. But yeah, Austin Gomber, I am totally happy with his start right now. He's got a 6.23 ERA after this second start of his. The rest of pitching, Peter Lambert was so good. 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. I'll take that any day. Jake Bird was great. Allowed a hit, but like nothing else. 2 strikeouts, no walks. Go off, Jake Bird. Go off. Nick Mears was good. I know he had a tough game the other day, but 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Yeah.
Mears has been one of the surprises of the season to me. He's been like really just incredibly solid through like every outing. Quietly
solid, because he's such a quiet guy. Yeah. He just goes in, he does his job. He's been so solid. He's got, and this is a reliever that we've seen in a bunch of games, 1.93 ERA. I'm really excited about that. Justin Lawrence had a very, very bad day at work, and it all went down. It was that 9th inning, wasn't it? It really was, because we went into that 9th inning. We're like, okay, let's pack up our stuff. We're probably going to be heading down soon. Poor Justin Lawrence. So leadoff double, an RBI single, another single, a sac fly that scored another run, made it 6-4, a 2-run single, a sac bunt, then someone scored on the error that Ryan McMahon was charged with. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay, then there was a pitching change in there. Okay, so yeah, after the RBI single, he came out. That is when Jalen Beeks came in. Sorry about that, guys. That was confusing, and that is on me. So yeah, Justin Lawrence is the pitcher that allowed this game to get tied, that brought us to the bottom of the ninth. He's definitely not super happy. I will say, so he was available to talk to us in the clubhouse too after that game, which, I mean, oh my gosh, imagine having like a bad day of work. Everyone sees it, and then like you have to talk about it. I know it seemed like Patrick Saunders and Thomas Harding were talking to him. We just didn't get a chance to because there was so much happening. I know a lot of guys too want to get out of there fast so they can see their families, be on the field, see their kids. Kris Bryant even said, like, we were just like holding him so long with like when we were talking to him, and he was like, I got like 3 kids right now would like love to hug their dad. Can we wrap it up? He didn't say it like that. He like obviously said it like, I've got these 3 kids who are just waiting to hug me. Like, yes, they are.
But we did take the hint. We were like, okay, family time.
Family time. Yes, family time. He's got those kids. He's got I consider the young players to also be his children because they love him. Okay, let's reel it in. We're talking about pitching. And guys, let me know in the Toyota chat how you guys are feeling after this game. Are you feeling a little better after the 1-6 start? I want to know your thoughts. That's the whole point of this. Lumi in the Toyota chat. Slam-a-llama ding-dong. Why did I say that so weird?
What a way to put it.
What a great way to put it. Trenton in the chat. Fun fact, today was the warmest Rockies home opener ever, according to 9 News. That actually is very interesting. And also, I haven't been to a ton of Rockies home openers. I'm not from Colorado originally, but this was a hot one. Because last year on the home opener, I was full on wearing a winter coat. So yeah, I was sweating today. Austin Gomber was sweating. He was sweating during that first inning, not from the heat, but from the pressure. That was a wild first inning. Yeah. We had a lot of the theme of pitching this season for the Rockies that I'm not loving is the leadoff batter getting on base, or, we've seen some home runs too. Let's see. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 leadoff batters reached base. Again, we don't like a rough start in big picture and in small picture. Yeah. Okay. I think this is also the third walk-off grand slam for the Rockies.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think that's what Shelby told us.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty freaking cool, if you ask me. Yeah. Let's talk about, all right, we talked about Justin Lawrence. Jalen Beeks, though, he got us out of that mess. All right. You know what? We're going to talk about the offense next. But first we have to shout out our friends at Toyota because, well, first of all, they are like furnishing these studios. This is their studio now. We're just living in it. But Toyota, we are so excited to be working with them. No, they didn't give us a car, but like we can borrow it, I think. But yeah, the Toyota Winners Lounge, by the way, that is where we're at. Talk to us in the Toyota chat. But yeah, Toyota, they have so many dealerships in the Denver area, by the way. So whether you're, looking to conquer off-road trails or just trying to weave your way through traffic after a win at Coors Field, there's nothing like a Toyota truck, nothing like the 2024 Tacoma, or maybe the Land Cruiser coming this spring. I can't wait to see the Land Cruiser, by the way. But Toyota, they also offer more low and zero emission vehicles combined than any other automaker. And I know how much that matters to us in Colorado because we actually care about the planet. And Toyota SUVs take command of the road and the trail and the traffic, so you can explore the road less traveled without sacrificing smooth city rides in SUVs like the RAV4 or the Grand Highlander. Some of my faves. But yeah, check out your Front Range Toyota stores near you. There's AutoNation Toyota Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Yeah, Toyota, the official vehicle of the Colorado Rockies. The official beer of this show right now is Coors Light. Thinking about cracking this one open in a little bit, not going to lie. Would love to get after it. We're going to celebrate responsibly with some Coors Lights after this. Ooh, they're still so cold. The mountains are so blue. We love our Coors Light. Whether you're trying to unwind after a big long day or try to celebrate after a really exciting win, Coors Light is the beer that is made to chill, and its whole life is cold. It is cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged. You can see how cold it is with those blue little mountains. When it's time to refresh, just open a Coors Light. It's a mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies, both the mountains and the team. When it's time to chill, Coors Light is the beer I like to reach for. So when you want to hit reset, grab the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Rockies offense, golden today, you guys. Golden. Trenton also in the chat. That's correct. Third walk-off grand slam in franchise history. That's what I also asked Shelby to repeat. I was like, what did you just say? Shelby from Rockies PR, a gem. And she was like, third walk-off grand slam in Rockies history. I'm like, great, thank you. Obviously, I didn't write it down. I'm just going on vibes here. The vibes are good. The vibes are so freaking fun today. Let's talk about offense. First of all, it was kind of chill in the first. I mean, we got those back-to-back doubles to score in the first, which was a nice sign. My friends are here, by the way. Steph just walked in. She was at the game.
Chuck's double was so close to being a home run. It was like,
it was so close. It was so close. And you could tell, like, there were so many hits where, I mean, obviously Chuck has hit so many balls in his life. Like, he has a feeling when something's going out of the park, and he's been duped a couple of times. So yeah, that was really fun. That first inning, Nolan Jones crossed home with that Brendan Rodgers double. That was super fun. Or was it the other way around? Fun sixth inning, by the way. Tovar, his second home run, a 2-run homer. So incredible. That was what got the lead going. And then Kris Bryant took it away in the eighth, his first homer of the season. It was a really, really wild game. And then the ninth inning happened because, like, honestly, Rockies weren't even supposed to be batting in the ninth inning. Yet here we were because of Justin Lawrence, and he had a super bad day at work. We all know this. But thankfully, the Rockies offense was able to answer the Rays' runs and then some. I loved the way the Rockies started off that inning, by the way, because it started off with a great Jake Cave at bat. He was so patient. He drew the walk, and then the next two batters also walk. They loaded the bases on walks. And then we got a pitching change. Then Kris Bryant was up to bat with the bases loaded, and he strikes. It was so frustrating, though. He struck out on 3 pitches. He caught more boos. People were booing him. Steph? No. Stephanie. Oh my gosh, she says she's sorry.
Let's have the Kris Bryant booing conversation, because I was surprised.
I was surprised because here's the other thing. We'll talk more about this in depth, but a lot of people, or there were people in the press box who have been around this team for a really long time, and those people were saying they've never seen a home player booed at all, let alone like this. It was kind of wild. But yeah, Kris Bryant caught some boos there. He definitely did not catch boos when he had that beautiful, beautiful home run.
I'll be honest. Yeah. I think it says more about the state of the franchise than it does Kris Bryant himself.
Yeah.
Obviously. I think people are super frustrated with ownership, and I think that has manifested itself in a dislike of the Kris Bryant contract, which has not been good value. Objectively, has not been good value for the Rockies so far.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was cutting you off.
No, you're
we
good.
have not seen the return on the investment on him in terms of what we see in the scores of games.
Exactly.
Obviously, he holds so much value in this clubhouse, and we are seeing it so much this season too.
Agreed.
So much.
But I think that the booing came from people being frustrated with the decisions that have happened over the last, honestly, 5 to 6 years. And it's just kind of at a tipping point. And I think that is a point where people can point to a specific thing and say the Kris Bryant contract, right?
Yeah.
But man, did it suck to see that from a Rockies fan base that I consider myself part of. I just don't think he deserved that. I don't think he's been.
Rockies fans don't boo. What's going on?
It felt really weird. He got booed twice today after he had even hit a home run. It was super weird.
I think he was actually booed 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to really dive into this too in a little bit. We had quite a conversation with Kris Bryant after this game, by the way. Burge in the Toyota chat, that first pitch that Russell Wilson threw out to Kris Bryant in the 2022 opener has not aged well. Wow. Burge. Brutal.
Whoops.
Oh, cutting us right down to the core. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Let's get back on track, guys. Offense. Anything else offensively that we really need to talk about?
We'll get into it more, I'm sure, as we talk about it. But Ryan McMahon, just this whole year, has been super solid.
He's been so solid, and yeah, again, he had a really nice double in the 6th inning. Was present for that 2-run home run that Ezequiel Tovar hit. So much fun, by the way. Yeah, he seemed pretty happy after this game. Yeah, offensively, big hits, small hits, the guys were definitely clicking today. Defense today, too, looked so much better than what we saw on the road because, oh my gosh, Chicago was tough to watch. Arizona, some of those games were tough to watch. The opener in Arizona was one of the most brutal baseball games we've ever seen, let alone for an opening day. Tovar had some really great plays too. And I was so happy to see that because he definitely wasn't as sharp to start this season. 9th though, bases loaded, no outs, a run scored, but he was so sharp with that 6-3 putout. And I love to see that. Mac had some really good plays in the 9th inning too. And again, these guys are just they see their guy Justin Lawrence struggling. They're just trying to hold it all together. He hustled for that ball that was hit by Caballero. Made the 5-3 out. But then, okay, so he got charged with that error. He threw to Kris Bryant at first that allowed a runner to score. But some say that maybe Kris Bryant is the one who should have made the play.
Yeah, a lot of discussion about that post game. We won't get into the discourse on that, but it
a lot happened.
A lot happened in post game today. But yeah, Kris Bryant. It's so funny because both of those guys ended up, taking, because they're both really good guys. Just they both ended up taking the fault on that and being like, "Oh, it was my bad. I should have made that play." You know, so. Whoever's fault you think it is, they both feel like it was on them.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, also, they're all besties. They're not going to be like, yeah, that was all his fault. They're not going to say that. That's not how teams work. But yeah, overall, I thought the offense just looked a lot sharper. There was that one error. Whose error? I mean, technically, it was Ryan McMahon's. Yeah. I'm looking at my notes on my score sheet, by the way. There was Nick Mears had some really good strikeouts. I know we were supposed to be talking about offense. We're talking about pitching again. The 8th inning, I wrote literally in my score sheet, "Go off, Nick Mears." Good for him, man. Good for him. What else did I write? Oh yeah, that play in the 9th inning. I was like, okay, yeah, this is the Tovar that we know. This is the Gold Glove potential Ezequiel Tovar that we love to see. I loved to see that. I think the guys were pretty darn good defensively and offensively. Yeah, let's look at the top performers of this game, by the way. Yeah, Ryan McMahon went 3 for 5 with a home run, a double, 4 RBI. That's what a grand slam will do for you. 2 runs. Nolan Jones, a double, 2 walks, RBI, 3 runs, a stolen Nolan Jones had his first stolen base of the season. First of 2030. I mean, he did a 2020 season last year. I think he has it in him to do a 30-30, maybe more. He's definitely, I am predicting he's going to do more than a 2020 season. 20 homers, 20 stolen bases. I think he'll get that 20th outfield assist at least. He was just one short. He had a 2020-19 season last year. It's okay, Nolan Jones. It's okay. Strangely enough, just like looking at the numbers, I'm like, oh, okay. Rockies, 10 runs on 12 hits. Rays, 7 runs on 13 hits. The Rays were trying so hard. They didn't hit any home runs, though. Rockies hit 3. I'm sorry, that's not the balls at Coors Field. That's just like your teammates didn't hit any home runs. And that's okay. Sometimes it happens. You don't have to blame the humidor.
Also, just like the Rockies were finally at home, like they were due. Like
they were so due.
This is how baseball works. I don't know what to tell you.
You know what Bud Black would say about this?
What?
That's baseball.
That's baseball.
Speaking of baseball, man, Game Time. They have such a good baseball deal right now for opening day. I don't know if anyone used it. I tweeted out some ticket prices, by the way, in case anyone was interested, because I'm like, oh, you could really ball out, get like a couple of $75 tickets. If you spend $150 on Game Time for tickets to a baseball game between now and April 14th, use code FIRSTPITCH. You're going to get $20 off that purchase, which is worth maybe a beer and a half, but still some really good savings there. Game Time, always super clutch, especially when you wait closer to first pitch. We use it all the time because I'm a last minute queen. But yeah, take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time for that limited time. $20 off any purchase, any MLB purchase of $150 or more in the Game Time app with code FIRSTPITCH. Some terms do apply, but that code is valid through April 14th. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. I'm going to take a sip of my water first. Are you cracking a second Coors, Kale, right now?
Yeah.
No comment? No comment?
No comment.
No comment. No comment.
We were at the park for like 10 hours today. Give me a break.
We were at the park for 10 hours. Oh my gosh. You did. I was so proud of you. You drank so much water. Hydrated king. Oh, yeah. My voice is sounding a little hoarse. Buddy's voice was so hoarse in postgame.
I was actually the funniest moment. He was like, yeah, I was yelling about a couple things in the ninth.
Yeah. He had a lot of things to yell about in the ninth. All right. Okay. Did we miss any sound that we were supposed to play in there, by the way?
No, but we do need to hit a factor read.
Oh, do we?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. My apologies to the fam at Factor. I shouted them out, but I need to talk a little bit more about them. Our friends at Factor Meal Kits. Whew. They've got some really incredible chef-prepared meals. You can microwave them and eat them after 2 minutes. Like, they just take 2 minutes to make. The thing that I didn't use the microwave, by the way. You can just straight up put them in your oven. You can put those containers in the oven, and it'll take like about 10 minutes. Which I think is totally fine too, because honestly, I love just heating things up in the oven over the microwave. That was my one question with Factor meals, and we figured it out. But yeah, it's going to feel so gourmet. Because if you're looking for gourmet meals, these are premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, truffle butter, broccolini, and it's no fuss, no mess. Factor meals just totally eliminate the hassle of prepping, cooking, cleaning up. You simply heat up and savor the good stuff. I put the kit, I put it on a tray, put it in the oven, put it in like this nice little bowl. It like literally was like I was at a restaurant. It was actually so freaking good. I loved it. But yeah, Perfect solution if you're looking for fast, premium options with no cooking required. And also they're celebrating Earth Day all month long. So look out for the Earth Month Eats badge on the menu for the lowest carbon footprint meals. I think that's super interesting. Excuse me. Head to factormeals.com/DNVR Rocks 50. Again, that's DNVR Rocks 50. That is the code also that's going to get you 50% off those Factor meals. Go to factormeals.com/DNVR Rocks 50 to get that 50% off. Whew. I actually had such a good little dinner last night. It was so dope.
Factor's rad.
I made one for me. I made one for my mom.
They're great. We do have Buddy on the Kris Bryant stuff. I know we're going to get more into it later. And then we have Nolan post-game on all that happened as well, if you want to get into either of those.
Ooh, yes. Okay, let me think for a second. Okay. So we talked to Nolan Jones about his relationship with Kris Bryant. We talked to Kris Bryant about his relationship with these younger players. And you know what? Let's play those now before we talk about Boogate.
Do we want to just hit those back to back?
Let's hit the Kris Bryant one first.
Perfect.
And then we'll marinate on it for a second, and then we'll jump to Nolan Jones.
Sounds good.
Guys, we are producing live. Do you want a producer credit in the Toyota chat? You got one. All right, so we're going to start with Kris Bryant. This is what we talked to him about a little bit after this huge win.
Obviously, these young players, you've given them so much advice. They look up to you so much. How great is it to see so many of them so productive in this really great team?
Yeah. I mean, it's great. I mean, Nolan out there, he's going to, I tell him every day, he's going to be awesome. Just keep going. Tovey doing big things. Doyle, winning a Gold Glove your first year is unbelievable, and just told him how proud I am of him for getting that too. Just there's a lot of positive things going on here, and I can't wait to see these young guys, and how their careers unfold.
He's genuinely glowing, smiling ear to ear, talking about these players. I love how much he just genuinely cares about these guys and just the role he's taken on in this clubhouse. He's a good dude. We love KB. You know who else especially loves KB? I love how much Nolan Jones loves Kris Bryant. They have just formed such a great friendship. And Nolan Jones was telling us all about how much Kris Bryant was there for him this week because it was a tough week. Here's what Nolan Jones had to say about that.
He's been great for me. No secret, I had one of the roughest weeks of my life last week in baseball, and he was one of the guys that was there for me the whole way. Today was tough for me seeing him get booed in our home stadium. He's a leader on this team, and he's a guy you want in your clubhouse. He's an unbelievable baseball player and a better teammate in person. So to hear that today, it was tough. But he's definitely been there for me.
Great lead in for us to talk about Kris Bryant getting booed at Coors Field. We touched on it earlier in the show. And definitely tough to watch for his teammates. We talked to Kris Bryant about it. We have so much sound that we're going to have to share, save for Sunday's show, because he was getting into death threats that he's gotten, and it got a little intense. We kind of need to sleep on it before we put it out there. We need to.
It's also just not the vibe to
it's not
fully
the vibe today.
deep dive into after a walk-off grand slam.
Yeah, exactly.
So when we have time to really flesh out the conversation, we will.
Exactly. But yeah, Kris Bryant booed at Coors Field. So he was booed when they were doing player intros. He was booed at his first at-bat. And he was booed at that last at-bat. So, again, we had heard from people who have really been at pretty much every Rockies game. People have covered this team for decades, saying that they've never seen a home player get booed, especially booed like that. It was really loud. And I wonder, it was such a hot day. So many people were out there. It was a big drinking day. I know people were very sauced up. I wonder if that also contributed to it, because drunk people, famously, not exactly the most reasonable crowd. But again, Kale was talking about this before, I don't think it's necessarily him. I think it's really what Kris Bryant represents for this team, because Kris Bryant is really only here because Nolan Arenado departed. So Kris Bryant represents just a pattern of talent leaving, and then they bring in this big expensive guy to kind of make up for that. And it has not been fruitful in ways that fans see. So that is, that's what's.
I mean, it's been tough. Like I stress so much to people how much this has been more of an injury thing than a production thing.
Yeah.
Like on top of all of that. But that is also, part of professional sports and giving such a substantial contract to a player in the latter half of his career when he has had injury histories. Like, fans have every right to be frustrated about that, and I'm not saying they don't. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough to say. I was, as someone who considers myself part of the Rockies fan base, I was honestly a little embarrassed.
Yeah. Also, like, I know this was an unpopular thing that I tweeted, but I tweeted out during one of the Chicago games. I think maybe it was, I can't remember what game it was. This has been kind of a crazy week. One of the Chicago games, maybe it was the first one, Kris Bryant got a standing ovation at Wrigley Field because Cubs fans, obviously, he was part of their World Series, that historic World Series win. They're always going to love him. They're always going to give him a standing ovation. But I was watching him get that standing ovation. So they gave him the standing O. He got a hit. The hit was rescored to an error. But, like, I feel like that contributed to it. I feel like those good vibes are so infectious. And I know I've talked about it before, the Philly thing where, Trey Turner, when they signed him to that big contract, he was struggling for a good chunk of that season. And fans just started giving him a standing ovation. And, oh my gosh, all of a sudden he got better. Was he due to get better? Probably. But did it help? Yeah. So I was like, what if Rockies fans did that for Kris Bryant? I'm like, just what if? Like, what if they did that? Apparently, everyone did the opposite, and they booed him any chance they got. He got some cheers for his home run in the 8th, that's for sure. But we did get to hear what Buddy had to say about that, because obviously Kris Bryant, veteran player, ups, downs, all of that. Buddy had some great things to say just about how Kris Bryant navigates all that. Are we ready to play that? Here's what Buddy had to say about Kris Bryant after today's game.
KB's been around a long time. He knows his place on this team and the responsibility of that. I mean, he gets it, right? He played in the big market, Rookie of the Year, National League MVP, World Series champion. He understands the highs. And, today, there was, we heard it. But he's got a lot of pride. He's got a lot of pride. He cares a lot. Professional athletes, in some ways, are conditioned to this. They get it. The good ones get it. The guys with perspective get it. And you keep fighting through all that. It's part of what we do in this job. And we understand it. So I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine too. If Buddy says he's going to be fine, I'll believe Buddy. That's for sure. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think. Was it fair to boo him? Was it foul to boo him? Baseball terms. Let me know what you guys think. I personally don't think it was fair. I think it was a little rude. Like, they weren't even booing, like, opposing players. I'm like, if you're not going to boo opposing players, like, don't boo Kris Bryant. Get out of here.
I also we should put this out there. Coors was maybe the drunkest I've ever seen them today.
Oh, and it was messy.
It was super messy, and that probably had something to do with it. I think everybody was just a little too sauced.
Everyone was so sauced. I think RG went up to the party deck to take some pictures. He took some great pictures, by the way, but he also saw some shit. He saw someone covered in blood, and the cops were there. It was a whole thing. It seemed like the situation was under control, but some of the drunkest fans I've ever seen. Heat, sun, alcohol, beautiful day. It's a Friday. A combination for disaster. So yeah, I do think that the drunkenness of the fans They were at an unsustainable level.
Like, I really think that had to, I at one point during the game did a walk around the concourse just like to see the vibe of the fans and everybody, and I saw people puking in trash cans, tripping over themselves. Like, I saw couples just like stopping traffic to kiss each other. Like, it was like bar close level of drunk, like at like 3:10 in the afternoon.
Oh my gosh. See, I'm thank you for doing this valuable reporting, because I never had a chance to leave the press box because like this game just like moved. It was a 3-hour, 10-minute game, by the way, but so much happened in that game. So much happened in that game. Heidi Bird in the Toyota chat. Booing is rude in any situation. Maybe not every. I don't live in extremes. But I think in this situation especially, I think it was rude. I think it was a little much. I don't think it was warranted. Everything Podcast Network. I may not be feeling better after today's game, but I can tell the guys are no longer looking dead out there. Yeah, they had so much life in them today. I definitely saw it. I'm glad you guys are seeing it too. Birch in the chat. The Phillies and Rockies have two different owners. One is really making an effort to win. The other is Dick Monfort. I do like wonder what goes on in his head. Like, I do wonder what his thought process is. I don't think he doesn't want to win. I just think he doesn't know how to make it happen. Or maybe he knows and it's the wrong answer. And that's why we've just always seen the wrong answer with the Rockies.
I mean, Dick clearly has some very, very strong convictions on how he likes to run his ball club.
Yeah.
And that has not produced a ton of winning over my lifetime. But it is the reality for the Rockies. So, like, people just need to know that. Like, you don't have to accept it. You can be angry about it, all of that. But it is his MO. That is how Dick Monfort runs the Rockies. He's going to believe in his young guys that they draft. He's going to try and develop them and get them into the majors and get them playtime and hope that young core is what, you know, whether it was the last young core of Nolan and DJ and Chuck and all them, or this new young core, like, or way back in the day with the Blake Street Bombers, you know, like, he has always sort of believed in his guys and wanted them to deliver them to the promised land. And that generally doesn't work in baseball, but like, that's how Dick wants to run things.
He wants it to work. He's trying real hard. He's trying to make fetch happen. He is trying. He was out and about today. I saw some pictures of him. He was outside of the park, apparently greeting fans, according to some things that people told us.
Which he is a very public-facing owner as far as MLB owners go, and I think that's cool.
Yeah,
I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah, you know what? I will. I think people are like making fun of his shoes, though. He's just wearing like the Air Force nuns.
Yes.
RG's told us we could say this and credit him. Dick Monfort, Dick Comfort. Not as sharp as some of his other stuff, but I wrote it down for some reason. Am I okay? Why did I write that down?
It was a good RG joke. I think it hit harder in the moment than it does now.
It did, because it was quick. You know, I guess you had to be there. How dare you not be there?
How dare you not be at our one table 4 hours ago?
How dare you? Oh my goodness. All right. So we have some great sound bites too. We've got another from Nolan Jones. We got one from Chuck from before the game about just how he has been interacting with these young players who, you know, a lot of these guys weren't on the opening day roster a year ago. They're here now. It was a really crazy start. We asked Chuck about that. We talked to Nolan about that. And of course, Buddy shared his thoughts on how incredible the home opener at Coors Field is. And we loved what he had to say. But first, we got to shout out our friends at Raising Cane's. On your mark, get set, eat. Make a pit stop at Raising Cane's for craveable hand-battered chicken fingers, one of my favorite foods. They are always cooked to order and made just for you. So race in for delicious chicken finger meals served up fast. Okay, now I'm actually starving reading this. Order up those chicken fingers, crinkle-cut French fries, and buttery Texas toast. And don't forget, creamy coleslaw and the secret Cane's sauce. So find your local Raising Cane's location or order on mobile right now for cook-to-order hand-battered chicken fingers. Race into Raising Cane's, turbocharge your chicken fingers, and get them even faster by ordering online at raisingcanes.com or through their app. You could have the app. You have so many apps already. Just download one more. Raising Cane's, chicken fingers, one love. Let's talk about our friends. Hi. Is that like audible?
Yeah, they can hear that.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. So something horrible is happening, apparently. I hope everyone's okay. Real It ensues. Premier Members Credit Union. We're so excited to be working with them. And yeah, listen, they're not a bank, which means they do things a little differently, like putting their members first with higher savings interest and lower loan rates. Y'all know those loan rates are out of control right now. They're going to help you out at Premier Members Credit Union. And this is an organization that serves the community and the Colorado community in particular. And with PMCU, you get local branches, friendly tellers. That is so valuable in itself. And the tools you need to save smarter, like their new high yield savings account, or earn 5% on your first $2,000 with their reverse tier money market. Super interesting stuff. You can find out more about this, but when you become a member at PMCU, you'll get $200. You just have to open up a checking account and sign up for e-statements. It's literally that easy. It's free money. This will be your best money move yet. Head to becomepremier.com to find out more. Yeah. All right. Let's move on. We got to talk about the guys. So yeah, we saw some really fun stuff at this home opener. One of my favorite parts, by the way, the Denver police officer who was run over during the Nuggets parade ended up losing his leg. He threw out the first pitch. Kyle Freeland caught it. I was so happy to see him there. I'm like, just first of all, happy to see him doing well enough to be able to be at Coors Field for something like this. I'm happy he's doing well. I hope that man never pays for a drink in Denver again, by the way.
I do too. Apparently Kyle Freeland's his favorite player, and it was like that I read some. I cannot credit, some reporter put that out there earlier today, and anyways, it seems like it was a really cool moment at Coors.
Yeah.
Today was full of really cool moments, which was all you can ask for from a home opener.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, it was good. At first, so he had a bunch of family and friends. I'm not sure who they were. Loved ones were there with him on the field, but they all had custom jerseys, but they were wearing the number 4. And I was like, oh my gosh, Michael Toliat has family here? No, they all said Dodge on it. And then I realized like he was standing with them, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're here for Sergeant Dodge. Got it. But shout out Sergeant Dodge. Thank you so much for doing what you do. Come into the bar. I will buy you a Coors Light. This is not an ad. I'm just unhinged. All right, we got Aaron Wells in the Toyota chat, by the way. Tovar, Doyle, Jones showing their big 3 potential. Yes, we definitely got to see pieces of that in today's game. Things were clicking really well for the guys. Burge in the chat. As a fan, I want him, I think he's talking about Dick Montfort. I want him to bring an outside GM. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of crazy that, after Jeff Bridich departed, that was a great opportunity to not have to fire anyone else, to just be like, okay, I don't have to have any other awkward conversations. Like, you could interview and bring in someone from outside, and instead went from inside with Bill Schmidt. Bill Schmidt did pick out Brendan Rodgers. He picked him out. That's why he's never been traded, because the Rockies have a little bit hoarder mentality. They're like, no, we picked him. We have to keep him. We got to stick with it.
I mean, to Bill Schmidt's credit, he's made a couple of moves I've really liked. But as an organizational philosophy, like continually just hiring within your same system is probably not the best way to create a winner long term. Mm-hmm. I understand that frustration completely, Burke.
Yeah, we are right here with you. Marky Mark, sell the team. They're never going to sell the team. I saw a guy, by the way, who someone wrote "sell the" on his Rockies jersey. I took a picture of it. I didn't get a chance to tweet it because I'm like, I don't even know what to caption it because Dick Monfort's never going to sell.
Yeah.
I'm like, as I was walking away, I was like, oh, that's really funny, dude. Like, by the way, he's never going to.
Yeah, what people need to understand about Dick Monfort is he views this as a generational asset for his family.
And he has said this.
And he's said this publicly. So, like, they're not going to sell the team. And Dick Monfort is also generally, compared to other MLB owners, cash poor.
He's the only non-billionaire.
Yeah, so, like...
He literally has less money than Taylor Swift.
Exactly. So, like the Rockies are Dick's primary income source as a quote-unquote rich guy. So, like, compared to other MLB, like, it's just not going to happen. And I agree with people's frustrations, but like we need to be realistic about what is happening, and that is never going to happen.
Yes. Oh my gosh. One more quick thing. I see Carl in the Toyota chat. We only trade away our good position players. That is not true because we have on this team right now good position players, and we've seen good position players recently sign extensions. I'm talking about Ezequiel Tovar, that 7-year extension. Okay, yeah, we're a little burnt on big, long extensions because we saw Nolan Arenado get out of that one. I'm going to hope that was a one-off because that was freaking crazy. But I think we still have really good position. Mac has been good. He was turning some crazy plays today. Tovar was so great today, too. Bretton Doyle literally has a gold glove. He has not been traded away. They're going to keep him. Hoarder mentality. They should hoard him. Bretton Doyle's a gem. He's out there running for you. My bad. No need to be negative on a home opener win. Yeah, Carl, read the room. What are you doing? That's so crazy of you, Carl. You're so crazy. Yeah, let's have some good vibes. This is a safe space. Guys, if you want to vent about stuff, you're allowed to do that in the Toyota chat. That is what the Toyota chat is here for. It is for you. It's not for me. That's for sure. No, I love it, guys. I love what we heard from Charlie Blackmon before the game. He has seen so many Rockies home openers, but a lot of his teammates have not seen any Rockies home openers. So we wanted to talk to him about that. Obviously, like Kris Bryant, Charlie Blackmon is a great role model in this clubhouse. Let's hear from Charlie Blackmon, shall we?
There's so many young guys in this clubhouse who weren't here for any other home openers. Is there any advice that you give to them heading into this day?
Well, we've had a lot of practice. Luckily, this is our third opening day of the season. And at least this time, it'll be at our place, and instead of being bothered by all the announcements and pregame festivities, we'll get to enjoy them, and they'll be for us. So mostly relax, have fun.
Love that advice. I think the guys, even though they are relaxed and fun, they're so locked in. Chuck is just like so effortlessly funny. Also, it is weird though, by the way. I think it's kind of weird that they were already at 2 other teams' home openers. It's just weird that like the Cubs home opener was when it was. Anyway, speaking of the young guys, we talked to Nolan Jones, a young guy. We talked to him after the game, but this was a conversation we had with him before the game about his we're just going to play it. Here's what Nolan Jones had to say before the game.
I got to talk to Chuck a ton in Chicago when I got off to a rough start and cost his team some games, and he had some really good advice for me, and I'm looking forward to turning that around and helping this team win.
What was that advice?
Just relax. I mean, I think that we watched some Charlie Blackmon errors, and when all eyes are on you and you're the one that cost the team the game, it's hard. None of us, we work all off season to not be in that situation, and unfortunately I was the victim of that a couple times already this year. But I think putting that in the past is the big thing, and that's what Chuck said. It happens to the best of us, and just going out there and have fun. I think last year I had never played the outfield, so it was kind of like I was able to let loose and just say like, hey, you know what, like I'm gonna run as hard as I can. If I catch it, I catch it, but I'm not supposed to catch it. Got to spend this whole off season working in the outfield, and now I know what's right and feel like I'm trying to do everything right. And I think it's something where if I just let loose and go out there and have some fun and run around like a little kid and enjoy this, things will start going my way.
It does sound like maybe, so last year he was so good in that outfield and he had never played it before. Talking about Nolan Jones. This season, we've seen him with a couple of errors. I feel like we're just, I know spring training happened, obviously a major league game at your home ballpark or at someone else's ballpark. It's going to be way different. So I think that the start of the season maybe was just some more growing pains for Nolan Jones because we didn't see those kinds of errors that he was committing last season. 2 errors on one play too is just absolutely crazy. I've never seen anything like it. I hope it never happens to a Rocky ever again. Everything Podcast Network. Watching the 2007 season back, you can see some similarities with this team. Chuck is going to be the next Rockies player in the Hall. Oh, interesting, because a lot of people don't see Charlie Blackmon as a Hall of Famer, like just a Hall of Very Good.
Yeah, we actually had a whole conversation with Thomas Harding about this while we were at spring training.
We did.
And we ultimately came into the conclusion that Chuck is like a first ballot Hall of Very Good that will probably just miss out on what that cutoff is.
Yeah. But you know what? He's a Hall of Famer to us. If only the Rockies would get their Hall of Fame, because they were supposed to have a museum, like a lot of other teams do. Other teams have their own Hall of Fame.
Like the Rockies Hall of Fame. Gotcha.
Yes, the Rockies were supposed to have their own, and it's just kind of never happened. I don't really know why. But, wouldn't that be so great? You know what? I feel like once Charlie retires, they're going to have to fast track it.
For sure. Chuck is easily the Rocky that has had the biggest city impact, I will say, on the city of Denver post Todd Helton. Mm-hmm. The guy that everybody associates with the Rockies and has T-shirts with his face on. Yeah,
he's so recognizable.
Exactly. So he is that guy, and he's just been a Rocky, which for fans in Denver means a lot.
It does. He is a Rocky for life, and that just goes such a long way for all of us. All right. Before we close out this show, we love talking about Black every day, but opening day, he's just extra great. I just loved what he had to say about the Rockies home opener. This was a conversation from before the game that we're about to play, but long story short, he loves the home opener at Coors Field. He always has, even before he was the Rockies manager. But here's what Buddy told us before the game.
Is this your favorite day of the year, or one of them, or
it's one
how
of them.
Do you rank it?
It's up there.
Yeah.
It's here in Denver, man, it's awesome. Right now, the Rockies, the fans. It's an event here, which I've come to know quite well because of my tenure here. But even coming in as a visiting player, a couple different times, visiting coach, manager, coming in here, you could feel a difference of an opening day in Denver as opposed to other places, right? And that speaks volumes for our fans, the organization, the state of Colorado, just Rockies in general. It's cool. It's a good day.
Oh, man. Also, sidebar, seeing Mark Stout in the suit before he got drenched in orange Gatorade. R.I.P. that shirt, man.
Yeah,
It was hella orange when we saw him post-game.
Yes, it was.
And he was sticky. Oh, it was so gross.
To Buddy's point though, I was talking with a national writer today just while we were eating, in the dining room, and he said that Denver does the home opener better than any city outside of Cincinnati he's ever been to. Cincinnati is iconic for that.
Yeah, that's their thing.
Exactly. So he was to be number 2 on that list. He was very impressed, not just with the Rockies, but the city of Denver. He goes, "This is a real city holiday," which is cool.
Sidebar too, Cincinnati has a lot of history. They've had a lot of time to build up their opening day stuff. Rockies have only had 31 years. So the fact that the team shows up, I think the home opener, do you agree? I obviously have my own perspective. From what I see, fans do more for the Rockies home opener than any other team. Even Broncos.
Yeah,
Let's ride.
It's just really I don't know. It feels like it's a like the day itself is an event in Denver.
Yes. I mean, it was literally a work holiday for our coworkers.
Exactly.
I don't know if anyone's still alive right now.
The group chat has gone remarkably silent. It has gone remarkably silent, so I don't feel great about it. But I'll shoot out some texts after this. We'll see.
Literally, like, everyone was like chatting about like, oh, where are we gonna go after the game? What are we gonna do? And it's gone totally silent. Actually, like, no joke, I'm a little concerned. Carl in the chat on Chuck. Chuck has a very singable walk-up song too. I love that he's never changed it. It's so appropriate. It's so much fun. Easy to sing along to. It's become a bit. I will say the first tonight of the season, it felt so good. It hits different.
It did. I got a little emotional, if I'm being honest.
Even though like we're in Studio B, which does not have like room for an audience, like my friends are here, like Steph is here, Aaron's here, my friend Danny's here.
They're
just like sitting outside the door.
They're all crowded outside our tiny studio glass door, and it's amazing.
I have great friends. They're best in the biz. Best in the biz. I'm gonna give them a raise. I don't pay them. I pay them in compliments. Trenton, Cincinnati literally shuts down for opening day. The only reason we do opening day so well in Denver is because we wanted a team for so many years. Guys, we wanted a team for so many years, and it's here, and now y'all are bitching about it. I mean, yeah, we want to win. We all want to win. But, like, let's check the perspective here. Let's just, like, take it all in. Yeah. Oh, by the way, hold on. Can you guys open the door? I have some questions to ask because apparently they saw Christian Braun out and about. Did you guys see Christian Braun?
I didn't, but Anna did.
Anna did, okay.
I saw him running around downtown somewhere. I'm not sure.
Also,
I love that.
It's Christian Brown.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I actually knew that too. Oh, I'm so embarrassing.
I hate to be like the hashtag Nuggets guy on this show, but I do literally cover the Nuggets.
No, I'm actually so embarrassed. I'm so sorry. Like, I know better. I actually know better.
It's okay. It happens to us all.
I'm out of the loop on Nuggets right now. I'm a little busy with the Rockies. All right, so the start of a series. We got 2 more against Tampa Bay after this 10-7 win. I think that's actually the first time I even mentioned the score. My bad. You guys all know the score. You don't come here for the score. And we got tacos. Ryan Mac got us tacos. I'll thank him tomorrow when I see him. Also, I was going to ask him about bringing back Truck as the walk-up song. Didn't get a chance because obviously a lot of other things happened.
We had like a couple of things to talk to him about post-game that were not about his walk-up song, but whatever.
I was going to ask him about, let me check my score sheet for a second. So I was going to ask him about the double because he hit that double and who was after? All right, so wait, Nolan Jones was on base. Ryan McMahon hit a double in the 6th to score him. I was going to be like, oh my gosh, how much fun is it to see like Nolan Jones just like booking it to home, like while you're on second. And like, I was going to ask him about that. Obviously, like way more exciting things happened. But like Nolan Jones like booking it to home, that was really good. And that got us a run. And it was really close. So even though we had some big hits, those small hits really mattered.
The young guys showed out today in pretty much all 3 phases, and it was awesome.
We love to see it. All right, let's reel it in, guys. First of all, we're going to be covering these next 2 games here against Tampa, but also we're going to have a post-game show after Sunday's game, about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours after last pitch. Kind of depends on traffic. Oh my gosh, we were in the parking lot forever. But now we're here, and I'm not driving for the rest of the night. Kale and I are going to crush some Coors here at the bar if y'all want to join us. So cheers to you, Kale. You took the mic off. Oh, he's done. He's out.
No, we're here. We're good.
Oh, you're on. Okay. Okay. You know what, Kale? Before we wrap up the show, where can we follow you on social media? Because you are just like one-upping yourself constantly with all the pics you're posting.
I am at Kale Sorbo on Twitter, Kale with 2 L's, and I'm a certified #Rockies guy now. So
Certified Rockies guy.
Yeah, give me a follow.
He got his certification today. We're so proud. Guys, you can follow me at the Suzie Hunter on all platforms. I post my score sheets. Enjoy them. You can follow all the latest Rockies updates at DNVR_Rockies. Do you guys know what I love to say about closing out a show like this?
What do you say, Suze?
That's baseball. Guys, that's baseball. That's the show. I'll talk to you Sunday after the game, but have a great weekend.
We all silly like the mayor.